and welcome back to more of the series with regards to brushes. There's a lot of information when it comes to brushes, and of course it's because brushes are the fundamentals of the nail industry. Without the brushes we can't work. So back to our acrylic brush. So I also wanted to show you my acrylic brush is quite rounded. It's not really pinched. So I like a more pinched brush. So I'll show you how to pinch your brush if that's what you want. I'd love to do that for you. So let me know if you want to see that. Can pinch our brushes together, make it more flat here in the barrel, which means it will be more pointy. Oh, I love that. Anyway, so moving on, I'm going to talk to you about what causes an acrylic brush to clog. Okay, so there's a few reasons why an acrylic brush can clog. One of these reasons is because of how you pick the bead up. Okay, so we've got some Young Nails powder here. So what some techs do is when they pick the bead up, let me just get some liquid with my brush a bit. When they pick the bead up, they go at a 90-degree angle with their tip in, and they just stick it in the powder like that. It's enough to get my OCD to twitch, and this can cause your brush to clog. Okay, another reason why your brush can clog is because your bead is too wet. So if you put too much liquid on your brush, that your brush is literally soaked in liquid, and then you pick your bead up and it's just so wet, it will clog your brush as well. So you want to perfect your liquid to powder ratio in order to do well with these points. So how you pick your bead up is you would come in at an almost 45-degree angle, and I'll do a more in-depth video when we go into acrylic so that you can see how it's done exactly. Okay, but it's very important that your ratio is on point and that your bead pickup is immaculate so that your brush doesn't get too clogged. Also, there's another trick that becomes habit after a while, and you kind of forget that you need to do that, and because you just do it automatically, like riding a bike or driving a car, you know to push your clutch in when you need to change gears, right? So it becomes automatic. But as you place your bead on the finger, so let's say you've picked up your bead, now you place it down on the finger, and that's exactly where you want it. Before you move on, you have to wipe it on your paper towel, and then you start with your application. But then, that being said, there's also another thing that you mustn't forget, is that when you start with your application, don't use your tip to try and get your bead down the extension. You need to use zone 2. So here's zone 1, zone 2, zone 3 of your brush. So you need to use the zones. So zone 2 to pull that product down, and don't use your tip because that pushes the product up, and after 10 nails you're going to have a very congested brush full of so much gunk in it. And that's not what we want. We want nice brushes. Okay. Another trick as well to remember is that you need to change your paper towel often. So what will happen is you'll keep using the same paper towel, and you'll wipe your brush, constantly. And it's just this pool of contamination, of wetness, of acrylic product all on the paper towel. No one says you have to use one paper towel per client. When you see that your paper towel is drenched or is contaminating your brush, change it. It's really necessary to do that because to avoid clogging your brush and also contaminating the nails. If you're doing different colors, you don't want the blue that's on the towel to be in the white glitter that you are picking up to put on a new finger. So change your paper towel often. Also, once you have done with the set, you need to put your brush into the monomer for a minute or so and then clean it. When you clean it, you really have to pull those bristles on your paper towel to make sure that when you do that, it's pulling all the contaminants out. Don't just do this. You really need to put some pressure into doing that so that you get all the contaminants out. Then what you can do is you put some more monomer on and then you shape it back into shape by rolling it. And once it's back into shape, cap it, and there you have it. So another reason why I don't like to use acetone or brush cleaner is because it strips your brushes. And once your brushes are stripped, then they become dry. And dry brushes, acrylic sticks to dry brushes. So you want to make sure that you've got a nice moist brush like this always. So that's why I say every day, do not use your brush cleaner or acetone every day. Use it only when you have clogged that brush so that you can make sure that your brush stays in tip-top condition. This brush is years old, so it's easy for others to say, oh, but I've used it, but you don't know how often they're changing their brushes out. They just think that it's the brush and not them. So I really recommend that you do not use acetone or brush cleaner unless you really have to. Okay, so that's all the points that I have for you today on what causes your brushes to clog and also how to prevent them. I hope that you will learn from this video and remember this video so that you can make sure your acrylic brush lasts forever.